doesn't change them. And yes...
If it's so bad, then just kill yourself. If it's so horrible, do it yourself. I'm going to guess that it's not. It's not that bad. And if you need...
Surprised.
If you need any inspiration, allow me to enlighten you. And he closes the gap between the two of you. And as he does, you feel and see the glamour rip away. But it's more than just a physical glamour. It's something entirely different. In the sense that you hear the earth below you begin to shake. You hear the walls tremble and the ceiling split. To capture this being, and he has such control over the area that he possesses, that he manages to push the walls out around you without moving you whatsoever. And when the glamour falls, there is an eye. You're staring into the depth of darkness, and it takes you for just a moment, blinking several times before you can see a reflection of yourself. And then we begin to move your head. You realize the utter veracity, the sheer magnitude of this beholder. You feel the heat, wave after wave, a flaming salamander licking below your body. You can feel the drops of moisture begin to build up and pour down your legs. And then there's a blink, and you're certain that you're seeing an eye. And when you lean back, multiple tentacles waving around in the air in directions peering down at you. And that's when, as he's trying to show you, there is a brief moment.
You wanted to see. You wanted to know what your mother was like. Well, allow me to show you. Look deep.
And as he seems to be saying that, the eye, the swirl of blackness and gray, seems to start to shift and twist, opening like a pool of divination. And it blinks again, and the cloud seems to dissipate, showing you a silhouette, a figure. Something much, much more. It begins to take form. Flowing hair, pulling first from the shadows, showing this golden weave, almost as if it was loomed. Perfectly so. The silken visage, this face of almost perfect alabaster. The one thing that you note that seems to be off about this woman that almost sets her aside. She has no facial hair at all, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. But her hair seems to be pulled back very tightly, and it rains down her shoulders. She's wearing a beautiful green and white dress that seems to be tapered very tightly up to the shoulder, and a man appears in front of her. And you can tell that it's the mayor from the side. And for a moment, he smiles in a way that you've never seen him smile before. In a way that you've never seen a man in his position be happy. Her hand moves up to touch his face, and you see this subtle pinkness of her lips as it seems to curl up in the corners. There is a certain elegance and grace to it. And every time he blinks, something appears more in the background.
Look there. You can see from my memory. You can see there, in the darkness, the wind-swept black hair, the flaming eyes. He stands waiting, the jackal-headed man, moving, stalking. His opportunity to strike. He waited for my back to be turned a moment, and he removed her from my eyes. Removed her from my... acknowledge it was only after I did more work than I care to remember. I undid damage inside. He pulled my memory. He pulled what I held as the only guiding light. Look.
And as you focus your vision yet again, the apparition behind, the silhouette that seemed to darken the door of this memory, it forms, and as it seems to turn, you can see the outstretched and elongated features of a jackal-headed monster. 2 arms outbreaking, coming to a scissor-tip point. 2 smaller arms grasping for this woman from the rear, pulling her away.
It was the last I ever saw of her. And from any I can remember, I will dispatch Naphtatorin for taking my only guiding light. The only thing to paint a new picture. She was more than a woman. She was my eyes. She was my sight. And a light in the darkness. You do not know what it is like to lose. And you have those that still care for you. I will never know friendship. No kin of mine will spend with me. Thrive where you feel you failed. Glean the cup half full. Stop writhing as a maggot.
In the moment that he says maggot and it hangs, there is a blink, and you see figures appearing in the reflection of his eye. And snap, like that, the mayor begins to adjust his vest, pulling his coat upward. Jacob, compose yourself. I'll cut from a different cloth. Act that way, or be stepped on. And he leaves. And as he's walking out, Thelsa, Cort, Ulhime, and Daniel, the mayor nods. I was just seeing to some things. Please allow me, I'll just leave. No explanation needed. I bid you adieu.
We'll talk later.
Take care, Mr. Mayor.
And we walk past.
You walk past, and tell us what they see exactly. Sniper, what does this look like from Jacob's field of view?
Oh, from Jacob's field of view, I would imagine that he is, I mean, I can't really say for certain. I would imagine that the fragmented shards of the dragon blood garnet is strewn across, strewn around the floor. That, there are dark, rusting spots of blood on the floor. Well, not rusting, but congealing spots of blood on the floor from Daniel, and maybe from Cort as well, if not Thelsa. And for them, the only thing they have to see is the slouched back of, the slouched curve of a back straining under an ill-fit garment. The shifted alacast across his lap. His claws resting against the flag, against the marble flooring, and his arms just kind of petting over the shaft of the scythe.
All right.
As he, as he just kind of contemplates what all is, what all was discussed. Y'all a bunch of perverts. Yes, I said shaft. What about it?
We saw you struggle. We saw that moment.
That moment where I was like, I can't think of a better word for it.
I was doing okay until I saw Bub's head start shaking.
Yeah, Bub was just like, God damn it.
You know what?
He was doing so good.
If you would have just said shaft and not did that beforehand, I probably wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
But because you were like shaft, I couldn't not.
Grip
Keep
it
going.
firmly.
All right.
Keep going.
He's there. He's stuck in this this momentary repose. It is defeat. It is that loss. At the gates of victory, you're 2 steps away and the gates have closed. It's just utter defeat. And
he got 2 steps close. I didn't even know he made it into the parking lot.
you have no idea what the mayor has said to him. But the mayor doesn't just go places because. There is a method to his madness for every little thing that he does. In a lot of ways, he's like Naptatorin.
Yeah.
I would never know that though, right?
Nope.
I think they said something.
Oh no, yeah, we did. We did tell him.
But you don't know what that is because you haven't
we
seen it.
didn't tell him.
He
just
listened,
happened
he
to go
heard.
ahead and eavesdrop.
Offhandedly mentioned
Yeah.
that the mayor's
While we said everything bad about the city all at once.
While Jacob is slumped over, Ulhime will walk up and pick up the scythe slowly. Like he does like a slow walk over to pick up the scythe. And he picks it up with the ethereal hand. And then looks at Jacob and walks over to Jacob and kind of like crouches down to look at him. And he slowly takes the gauntlet hand and lifts up his chin. And that's when you're going to see the new Ulhime, Jacob.
Well, I see you seem to be no worse for wear. At least you're free.
The moment he says that, his hand goes across his throat and he shoots him up against the wall.
Okay. Give me a strength check. Actually, this is going to be a CMB versus his CMD. Yeah, it's very reactionary, but yeah, let's see what you can do.
Can you bust a 29?
A
Daniel's gonna give
25.
the background.
It's not like you're trying to grapple him, right? But more importantly, would Jacob let him do this?
Let him. I mean, it's not like he would necessarily move to join in the motion, but he would definitely be a little too shocked to react at first. There would be a moment of, the fuck do you think you're doing?
Sure, that makes sense. That makes total sense. But I mean, like, you'll get a reaction, right? You'll get a reaction if he's like attempting to like draw a blade on you, but this is very surprised. Like, well, at least you're back. And he's just, abruptly just sort of like throwing you up against the wall. His hand is attempting to move up to your neck, but you're still very tall. And if there is some sort of like natural like arm that's going to come up, he's at the very least pushed you up against the wall. Maybe not like gripping you by the throat. He's not going to like do that.
Let's be honest. I'm 8 feet tall.
You're pretty
He's
tall.
a dwarf.
And he's a dwarf. He's gonna struggle a lot.
Yeah,
But
no,
that's-
it's not like I'm trying to like fully extend it, because since he's already kneeling, it's essentially like when he lifts him up, like he pushes him back. So like he's still on his knees pushing him back. He's not trying to lift him up completely like that. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, he's still 4 feet of, anger and fury. But yeah, hitting the wall, Jacob has a moment of, looking at Ulhime conspicuously, like, what do you think you're doing?
Do you have any idea what you've done? Do you know the magnitude of what you've unleashed?
Depending on the opinion of yourself, I can't say as to how the magnitude is, but last I checked, the one I freed was you, who so foolishly got himself trapped in some gemstone like a fool. And
He tightens his grip a bit.
Does Cort or Thelsa or even Daniel, out of curiosity's sake, did you guys doing anything?
They're having their moment. Cort's
Oh yeah.
Cort's not smiling and like, wow, Jacob, it's okay. You only broke the memory of the world's most eternal spellcaster. It's okay, buddy. Have a juice box.
Nobody knows that.
Yeah, well,
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's Thelsa does.
Cort's not sitting there beaming with happiness. Cort's
No.
just kind of sitting there angrily, kind of.
Thelsa
Scary.
knows this is an Ulhime and
Yeah, this is their moment.
Sure.
moment.
Yeah.
So even if Daniel tries to step forward, Thelsa would hold him back.
I'm just gonna lean against the wall, tip my hat, be like, "You're on your own on this one, Scissors."
Yeah.
Fucking A, does that have to stick around? Really?
Little snips. But as his grip tightens, I was insignificant given to what you've destroyed. What you've cut in half was the crystallized embodiment of what could have saved this city. And he looks over to where I'm still assuming it's like the back office room. And he looks back at Jacob. You've destroyed Surabar Spellmason.
Cort kind of shook from the back. Would be the spell guy who built the city? Wasn't he already dead?
Not till today. And his focus doesn't break from Jacob as he says that.
Jacob, give me a sense motive if you think you would unless you just flat out believe him.
Yeah, he would kind of question it,
Thelsa's
And this is why he says, go ahead and pour points into everything else.
Thelsa's gonna start making her way into the room to try and collect the fragments of the bloodstone.
Yeah. I'm not even going to bother wasting a reroll on that since, it's just a +1. But he will have that moment of, kind of recognition of the name before, disbelief, then concern, then. And how was I to know that?
Why would you do something so reckless? And he fucking picks him forward and then shoots him back.
Mm.
Unless you guys
Bound.
unless you call for the scene where you're like looking for a physical combat moment, this can just be like a veritable shoving match, if you will. So you'll have to let me know when this.
That's pretty much
when
what
this
it
goes
is.
to
Like
that point.
I'm not trying to like do damage, but like it's like he's like
And you're
kicking
pushing him
forward
from
and
the
like
Yeah.
shoving him back. Yeah.
You know,
Check him.
and hearing that, you know, that's when Jacob will, scissors will go ahead and clap his claws on either side and actually stand up, lifting, Ulhime like a baby in the wind. Just, who are you to talk about reckless?
He's not the one who's tried to kill 2 of us today. And he's gonna look.
And if not for his actions, nobody would have been harmed.
If not for his actions, they both would have been dead.
If not for his actions, nobody would be dead. Nobody would be wounded. Nobody would have been cut. Nobody would have been trying to go ahead and free his egotistical, self-centered ass.
What of the innocent people I've killed? The innocent people you've killed? Do they not matter? Are they all some part of Ulhime's great scheme? It's not intentional. It's not something we want to do. It just happens.
I'm gonna look.
And
over
you
at
can't
Jacob.
blame one person for all of this. Sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm not blaming anyone, but he's got no leg to stand on calling me reckless. Calling me that. When he decides to go ahead and get himself caught up in magics he doesn't understand. And at
Jacob.
that point, he'll go ahead and, push. Yeah, he'll push Ulhime off to drop to his own feet.
I'm gonna move the side of my coat, and then show Jacob. Ulhime didn't leave me this scar. You did.
Yes, I cut you, because in the midst of my visions, you decided to go ahead and step in. I do apologize.
You mentioned magics you don't understand, yet you cut the chains on the thing, and you're using a weapon that's highly magical with properties we can't even discern. How is he the only one at fault when you go and make similar actions? You guys are doing the same thing and just yelling at each other for it.
Weren't you the one yelling at us that we have to start talking together as a group?
I'm not claiming I wasn't reckless. I'm not claiming that what I did was right. But I'm not so much the fool to go ahead and look at somebody here and claim them to be.
So you're both hypocrites. Just hug it out and we can go, but no more cutting people.
Well, perhaps the next time somebody's swinging around a scythe, you'll learn to go ahead and leave him a wide path. And Cort, maybe.
I'll learn to
just
bring my
maybe.
sword next time. And Cort's just gonna kind of walk off to the room.
You won't be using this any longer.
Oh, and I suppose you will.
Better than the calamities you've caused with it.
Oh, it's not going to be in any of our hands. We're finding somewhere safe to put it. That thing has caused enough issues for us.
Somewhere safe.
That ain't gonna
Neither
fit
of
in my
you
back
has
pocket.
so much an idea as to what that thing is or does.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Explain it then.
It separates. And not just cuts. It pulls apart. It removes. It cleaves.
As Cort's body, yes, we saw. Just one cut, and it was taking him piece from piece, shredding him apart. We saw this.
That was because a piece was in him. Imagine what you could do with something like that. Imagine what you could do to the restrictions of the demon scar. Imagine what you could do to the charms that are holding this city safe. Imagine what you could do. And he'll just kind of look at, he'll just look at Ulhime. And
So
go
destroy
ahead
it.
destroy it.
Absolutely.
And where do you think we could destroy it without taking half the land with it?
Occipitus? It is nothing but hell now.
I fear that destroying such a thing in Occipitus wouldn't just kill the person there, but it would probably take all of Occipitus out. Perhaps all of Celestia in the past. It might erase everything from ever existing. It is not a mere weapon. It's not something.
That's how that works.
Hmm?
So I don't think that's how that works. Thelsa would be saying under her breath.
Well, allow me to go ahead and at least explain that it only activated because of my involvement. Like it or not, that's my birthright. Though I'm loath to say it.
To activate.
I'm gonna try to gut punch Jakob.
Bonded with Ulhime.
You actually want to physically do harm then?
Not harm, but disable. I guess disable him, if that makes sense.
That's doing harm.
A non-lethal hit.
Okay, so unfortunately, unless you are a monk or you have taken the feats, Pathfinder doesn't really allow. Most combat sims really don't allow you to do
Lethal
that unless you take major negatives.
Is it a -4, right?
-4 is the biggest way, but I don't really like. What are you wearing right now? I'm curious.
Are you trying to
knock the wind out of him?
Knock the wind?
Yeah.
He's gonna deck you.
Sure. Then
hit him in the stomach.
Then make me an unarmed attack. I'll give you an option here, Sniper. Despite your character's ravings, you're still very much aware of what's going on at the moment, and you have an opportunity, right? This particularly creates an open space. It's an attack of opportunity, if you will. But I'll give you a chance to reflex.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
But you can see, as you're saying this, as you're expelling these, you can see his frustration is mounting. It's wearing over his brow, and his face is growing more and more contorted before finally he just reveals this mouthful of pearled teeth, and he draws back his hand, and he just tries to level a punch into you. I'm not going to make you roll for it. You guys just go for it. You swing. What does this look like? What does this moment really sort of look like for Ulhime?
But yeah, he's getting met, as you said, this frustration just kind of mounts up on him, and he's like, you know what, fuck it, and it's like one of those barroom brawl kind of setting up to punch. It's super advertised. I would say it's happening real fast, but I guess how high the tension is right now, it looks like it's happening in slow motion. You just see him go. And he just straight up goes for the punch towards the stomach.
Okay. That's what happens. He seems to levy a blow directly into your gut. You feel like the this exhale, but give me a what would you like here? Are you gonna punch back?
I would say that's a fort save to see if it drops me or not.
Well, it's still an attack of opportunity, right? So if you feel like you're going to be reacting in that sense, then run with it.
Blow for blow.
Yeah, let me make those shots. I'll tell you what to roll. You just tell me what you want to do.
Oh.
I use amplify spell and then I force punch him.
Right in the electronic bits.
Oh wait, no, he only does that to me, right? Oh.
Hold on.
You know what I like? The fact that our group fights each other more often than we fight the bad guys. It's fantastic.
He's gonna punch back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna punch back. More of, he's going to kind of do it like a backhand, but he's gonna use force punch.
All right. Well, in that case, if you're actually going to break out spells, then I'm going to go ahead and call for initiative. Yeah, my initiative tracker is up. Go ahead and click on yourself and then cast your initiative out, please. Let me see what you got.
Are we all roll initiative or just these two fools?
Fuck yeah, go for it. You guys can roll your initiative too. It doesn't mean that you're not going to react.
Oh
No.
boy.
If you don't plan,
Daniel's like in the back,
on
like I've
attacking-
already been cut today. I'm not fucking with this. Fuck off.
I do not see my character.
That's because me and you are, I believe, yeah. If you look, you see where Middle Pole Street is. It's Magma Avenue. Yeah, like right here. That's where me and you are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bubs.
Yes.
I'm gonna.
northeast.
Oh, we still don't have a token for you, do we?
Is there a possibility to walk over to where Sasha's at?
I mean, technically you can leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Actually walks on out.
While they're all like distracted with the fight, I'm gonna take my leave. I'm gonna walk over to Miss Sasha.
All right. Well, I'm going to pull you out of
Do
initiative.
you even
then.
know who Sasha is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
okay.
He's met her a few times.
Okay.
He offered to be her her message spreader.
No, that message never got to her.
What?
Oh, right, yeah.
It was one time, and that message
Yeah.
never was portrayed.
Yeah. She didn't she slap the fuck out of you? No, that was Ulhime that she slapped the fuck out of.
No, it was. Wait, was it Ulhime?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was
Yeah, he slapped Ulhime. And
it wasn't when we were, it was a while ago, but she would.
No, she hit
Was it
Jakob.
Jacob? It was Jacob.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
It
hit
was
slapped
Jacob.
Jacob.
Then.
Okay. Never mind. Sasha likes to hit her people. So
Except for me.
Well,
Yeah.
Sasha
That's
hit
why
me
you-
for a reason.
well, that's why you two can deliver the info about Charlie.
I
Yeah, that's gonna
still
go so
don't
well.
know what occurred.
Yeah, you guys technically only Ronald is aware of that.
Only
That technically.
Ulhime.
I remain in blissful oblivions for the time being.
Until we're not.
Yeah, this is gonna go so smoothly, guys. I'm super excited for it. All right, top of initiative, Jacob. He's punched you. He's levied this healthy blow, and it immediately it channels this this gut punch, this wrench on your insides, pushing out your air. You feel it. It's not like he's explicitly gone to cause forever harm. You know, it's not a fatal experience, but it's enough to send a message.
Yeah, and it's enough to go ahead and piss me off. I was already in a bad mood. I was already fairly pissed off with him for doing, for getting locked in a gemstone. And
Yeah, fuck you, Ulhime.
everyone just going ahead and pointing accusations my way. No, I've had a rough day. And then he goes and punches me.
Yeah, that bastard.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch him.
You kill him. That's what you do.
Egotistical look. I couldn't kill him if I'd wanted to.
Bro, they ain't accusations. You literally attacked us the first time.
It's not
You're an
accusations. My eyes are still
angsty-
blood red.
Angsty teen demon in our party.
Well, I
Feels
mean,
bad,
they all
man.
go through them years. So, cast your spell. Do what you're gonna do. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I mean, as for the spell, just go ahead and throw out just what it is. I still need to go ahead and do a punch. And that's D20.
But this one's not amplified. I see how it is.
Well, no,
No.
he can't kill you in a single blow. That makes sense. It's got to be part of his accolades, man. His bragging rights.
Anyways, it's 2020. Sorry, I'm trying to go ahead and remember shit that we haven't done in a long time.
You trying to make an attack, or are you trying to force punch?
Well, I've got to make a physical attack to do the force punch.
Okay. All right. So it's gonna be your strength modifier plus your base attack bonus, and you.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what my base attack bonus is.
It's
I think it's 12. Or no, 9. Bleh.
And you gotta go up against his touch. This should be good.
It's 12.
Okay, you're good. You good. You rolled a 22. That's gonna be enough. So express what this does.
So what it does is it actually like ensnares his claw in this etheric, twisting, and when it strikes with a multiplied force. It's kind of like getting hit in the chest with a log. And its intention is, given the fact that he's kind of swinging low towards his sternum, he's just trying to knock him back. But yeah, let's go ahead and see how that goes. Let's see. And
It's a lot of D4. That's a lot of D4.
I'm over level 10, I'm sorry. And it's supposed to set him back. Push him back in a straight line up to 5 feet per 2 caster levels. So
You gotta make a save.
Yeah, he's got to go ahead and make a
Fortitude?
fortitude
Yes, correct,
partial save.
fortitude.
He's got to beat 18.
All right, go for it. Let's see what you got.
Fortitude negates the push.
Okay.
Yeah, not the damage, but the push.
He strikes with a way that it sort of catches you off guard. You're so used to operating with forward momentum. Dwarves have low center of gravity. The moment that he connects and levies this blow into your gut, it was an attempt to drive you back, much in the way that you drove him back to the wall. Except he wasn't anticipating your stance. He wasn't predicting that, and your overall fortitude to resist some of these things. The spell dissipates over your body. You feel the wind sort of gush out around you like, whoo, and you know that it cast a spell.
The moment he does that, he looks down and then you can see the crack, like a small crack start that formed from the impact. And as that happens, you just see Ulhime continue to look down, and he looks back at Jakob and just gives a nod. And he just kind of pushes himself off of him, and he walks over to the office to put his armor back on. He doesn't say anything. He just nods and goes, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Jakob will go ahead and make a grab for the scythe, though.
If it's open turn, when these blows are starting to be exchanged, Thelsa's getting the scythe.
Yeah. Well, I'm still holding it in my hand. The expression that Ulhime had was one of shock. He wasn't expecting him to get to strike him with magic, and that's when he did that slow nod and was like, "All right."
Okay.
Yeah.
The tension remains. You've grabbed onto this staff, and you're holding on to it, and he seems to be over minding his own business as if nothing even happened. He's putting his armor on. And you're still there. My everything closed. My browser, my everything just closed. Nice.
You're still in Zoom for us.
Well, that's perfect.
In Zoom, yeah, roll 20. His roll 20 closed.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, my everything just closed. Forgive me. Just a second, folks. Even my chat died, and so.
It wouldn't be Shackled without technical difficulties.
Yeah, man, that happens.
We almost made it a full session.
By the way, if you're curious right now, I had to briefly drum up a sketch of one of the scenes. I put it in my Discord in general. It's specifically a scene between Jakob and the mayor. If you wanted to see that.
Oh God, where did this end up?
In general, it's I like the fact that you put him in a little desk that you can see into. It's nice.
Oh, that's just a chair. I had to put him on a chair.
I know, but I like to imagine like a little school desk because he's nice and ready for school in his beholder days.
Okay, I think I'm good again. I think I'm good. Let's put that back on.
That's the new defense against the dark arts teacher.
Okay.
Now you have to do your 3 weeks of beholder homework.
Okay. All right, I'm back. So the tension, as I was saying, it's just palpable, right? You could cut this with a knife. He's donning his armor. It's almost as if he's not taking it either seriously or in a manner you may have, by casting a spell, you may have offended him. The punch probably wouldn't have done that much, but the fact that you willingly put a spell behind your intention, that speaks leaps and bounds, because you know that he probably could have done the same. There have been many times that he's used his strength of the gods, as he has done so before. He, for some reason, calls out most of his spells, almost like he's an anime character. It's bizarre. But as he's called out this strength of the gods, you've seen this glow sort of erupt over his fist, and he's shown this enormous, unprecedented strength. But this time, this was just a regular blow to the gut. There's no weapon. There's no magic.
So who currently has the scythe?
Me. I grabbed it when we walked in. I've been holding onto it.
If you plan on coming out of the room with it, I will take it from you. I'm not going to let you go into fight with it.
No. So this is what happens. As Ulhime finishes donning his armor, he'll walk. He doesn't even look at Jakob at this point. He just walks past and just goes up to Thelsa. We need to get Daniel back. We have to find the monstrosity that's down in the cave.
You technically don't really even know that Daniel's gone.
Oh, then I mean, if I didn't see him, then I would look to see if our group was there. Where's Daniel?
He departed when you two started fighting. What?
We can. Let's get him back.
What monstrosity in the cave?
It's a monster from another realm that Weejoss wants us to kill. It's one that's been affecting the town. Just bring him back. I'll be in the office when you get here. And you see Ulhime just turn around and go into the office, and he just kind of sits with the scythe against his pauldron shoulder, his red gauntlet, and just kind of just waits and sits on a chair, doesn't say anything.
Okay.
As I confusedly walk past, thinking there would be much more to this fight, I'll walk by Cort and say, "Did Daniel say where he was going?"
Not that I could think of, but I don't mind going around looking.
Yeah, I don't know what he intends to do. If you don't mind, we'll split up and take separate roads.
Cort's gonna kind of shoulder his blade and then go ahead and walk.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn back to Jakob before I leave and just kind of look at him. You aren't going to pursue and fight, are you?
As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing further to fight about.
I'm gonna take a couple steps forward, and then I'm just gonna give Jakob a hug, and then walk away.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's gonna like check his back for, daggers, needle marks, things like that.
Thelsa
I put a kick me sticker on the back of you.
Thelsa has been incredibly adamant about maintaining her space. She's not been lovey-dovey under any capacity whatsoever. There is no emotion. She legitimately owned up to killing her own family, even though she said that she had been drawn and driven by a deity or by a figure in her mind. She has never expressed anything like this before. This is totally on a new level of emotion.
She comes up, she gives him a hug. He's kind of with one of his many hands, just pats her on the head. just okay.
Yeah, just be no words afterwards. I'd just walk away.
Okay.
Head to look for Daniel.
Okay. Daniel, what are you doing?
I'm retracing my steps back over to go see Sasha.
I'd like
I
to know
want to-
why.
I want to give her the heads up on the current situation and kind of.
I'm curious. What's the current situation that you're going to give her the heads up on?
that
Certainly not
the
anything
cri-
about Charlie, right?
No,
Okay.
nothing like that. It'll be in regards to how she's going to be reacting to the fact that the crystal's broken and that all of those chains are severed. Because she said that, because I was there with Thelsa and she said it was important to her. So I'm going to ask her what would the alternative be if that crystal is in fact gone.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, all right. That's this should be good. This should be good.
I am ready.
I was not ready.
I was ready for the full fight.
Okay. All right. Let me do a thing here. We're gonna taper some stuff down. We're gonna pull that. I think in that direction. That seems good. It's better than not. Give me just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Chat, I'll be right back. I need to taper with something, so I'll be right back.
5-minute
Yes,
break.
sir.
There we go. Man, that was intense.
Right.
Yeah. Though, boy, everybody really goes ahead and puts way too much, emphasis on him using magic.
People try to do non-lethal 4 points of damage to you,
Yeah.
and you respond by blowing them up with 70 to 40 points of damage.
It's the
I think that's understandable.
so. It's
A
like,
guard tries to assault you in a prison with a punch, and you blast his heart out with ice magic.
Yeah, that'd be like the equivalent of like you guys getting into like a fist fight in school, and then like when you get punched, your retaliation's like, "Let me get my gun," and it's like,
No, you gotta realize
No, you like poison his coffee or something like
he's
that.
he's a
Yeah.
magus. He's been trained from day from day one to use magic in parallel with martial prowess. It's as normal to him
I'm a
as breathing to go ahead
Yes,
and
and
cast
I'm a
spell
sword
against.
fighter, but I can still punch people without needing a giant two-handed broadsword.
yeah, like there's like martial prowess, but there's also like that sense of respect that you have for your own party. Like, why would you ever try to like effectively try to? kill them?
Mine's a bit more
Again.
understandable for your force punch because you were not focused, you were very heat of the moment, and you were losing your shit. Because then you can be like, yeah, I did that, default of magic punch because magic. But
Yes.
you are calm at this point because you're pissed at Ulhime, but you're not swinging around thrashing like a child. That was a very calculated fuck you force punch.
Yeah, like it. Like Ulhime could have straight up just been like, "I'm gonna use the power of my divinity to like smite you," but he
That
didn't.
could have
Like,
been a dick swinging contest.
Yeah.
It very well could have been.
Yeah, it could have.
Oh, yeah.
that could have
No.
been it.
I expected so much more out of that fight.
Oh, so did I. I was expecting shit to go off.
I think the
No,
fight was
no,
more of like,
no.
let me get my point across. Like, yeah, I'm upset with you. Kind of like how
Yeah.
siblings will fight with each other. That's kind of like what the fight was, but you
But you
took it a
just
step
crossed
too
the
far.
line by fucking punching him
Yeah.
with the power of 1,000 forces.
You didn't attack him like a party member. You attacked him like he was your enemy, which is like far worse because it's like you disregarded his life. You're just like, I'm gonna kill him. So
Yeah, it's like Saint
And
said.
what I'm trying to explain is that that's how he's trained to do almost everything. It would be a conscious effort not to hit him like that.
And it should be a conscious effort to not punch the person that you've grown up with, who's your best friend, who you're having an argument with.
Well, no, they haven't grown up with,
You know what I mean.
but
You
Different
you
colors.
are.
I'm saying it shouldn't surprise anybody that he uses magic as often as he does.
It doesn't
Since he's
surprise
done
me,
it the entire game.
Yes. It doesn't surprise me, but that doesn't mean that it's all right.
No. I'm not saying that it's all right.
After
I'm
the
just
third
explaining
teammate you
the
almost
standpoint of. I'm
Jacob,
just explaining the standpoint.
It is logical
of
from a
Jacob.
character standpoint, but also, fuck. It's like Saint said, the nobleman slaps you. All right, I pull out my +5 keen broadsword, and I attack him with vital power attack.
Perfect.
All right, I'm gonna AFK for like 2 seconds. I gotta pee because I'm really nervous about what's about to happen.
You know, I'm gonna do the same.
Do we want to take like our fight? Do you want to put us on our break?
I mean, maybe I don't know. Do you guys want to keep talking to him? It's kind of your call.
We'll go ahead and keep talking. Just go ahead and
we'll
take the
fill it.
cams
All right.
down.
Well, Ronald,
I had a work call. Sorry.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Your brother has done the same, and I think some of the others want to keep talking about the things that are kind of occurring.
Slap our cams down, but
I am gonna run to the bathroom.
All right, then I will put us on the BRB. We'll be like, give us 2 or 3 minutes, guys. I'm gonna go make sure I get a refill on water and stuff, so I'm ready for this. It's gonna be our final scene. It's gonna be your final scene, but I'm sure people will be here to talk. So, screens up, talk as you must.
All right.
So what's going on?
So we were talking about Sniper responding to your push with his magic attack. Sniper's like, man, you guys give me too much shit for using magic as my counter attack, and we're like, bruh, your brother just pushed you and you responded.
No. I was saying, why are you surprised? Y'all.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not that we're surprised. We're moderately whelmed. However, that doesn't mean that you should keep doing it.
Yeah.
This situation,
You're like, oh man, this completely non-lethal attack that's supposed to be like, that's supposed to just kind of hurt a bit. You're like, better fucking put magic behind this one. Guess it's time for
He's a fucking lich.
So is that Jacob's immediate response? Like, oh, he's undead, so yeah, I could do something that can potentially destroy him.
Jacob.
What about me? I'm not a lich. I'm a boy.
No, you were a lash out. But no, just
Jacob needs a therapist is what he needs. And anger management issues.
It's one of those situations where it's like the person is kind of like saying, I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed at this point. Like,
all right, I'm gonna use the restroom.
Like you crossed the line that you definitely had no right to cross, and like now it's like this, it's probably gonna be weird between you guys, and like ultimately,
dude, it's been weird between us for a while.
Yeah, no. Okay, so like that might be the case, but it's the sense that you did something that you probably can't be forgiven for, or if so, it's going to take a really long time. So like, think about any time where we might have to trust you. Our ultimate instinct is going to be like, well, he's willing to kill any one of us. Like, should we really like give him the benefit of the doubt? Or...
I wouldn't even say that he's willing to kill us. I'd say the takeaway here for us.
Well, no. For his character, it's perfectly reasonable for him to think, well, from his character standpoint, it's perfectly reasonable for him to think that because he sees the lash out. He doesn't understand that he interrupted a vision and that he lashed out as part of the vision.
Even that though, lashing out as part of a vision, you would snap out of it after the vision.
Yeah, like
the continued temper tantrum is what we draw here. It's not that we can't trust you. It's the fact that you're incredibly reckless, have disregard for not only your safety, but also our safety.
Yeah,
to
like
the point where you are a one-track train that does not care about anyone but the objective that you're doing in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Like you attack me with like a scythe that decays me. Like who? Like why would you do that to your own party member? Like I would understand like if you punched me from like getting you out of the vision, but like to be like I'm gonna use this God-given scythe and just destroy this man because he interrupted my day.
Save he did not do it a purpose. Yes, he did not even see your character.
But you then saw the wound, looked at him and went, "Oh fuck, I did that. Fuck it, I'm gonna continue going on anyways." And that's the point where the issue lies.
And the reason he continued to go on anyways is because he wanted to get Ulhime out. Because he knew he could go ahead and use Ulhime to reverse that.
All right, we're back.
Welcome back.
So, I'm really glad that I had a chance to kind of come back and hear that. It's good, you know. The only thing that might have saved that that instance right there is if you would have been like, "I caught him. Ah, it's only a prank, bro," and then you just kind of kept cutting chains.
It's a prank. It's a prank.
Like that's I don't think anyone's gonna have an issue trusting you. Like we're never gonna be like, oh, he's gonna work for Nab the Torn and he's gonna kill us. But we have to worry that you're now a dangerous idiot who's willing to throw everyone's life in jeopardy if it means doing something that's beneficial.
Like
Which
everyone else.
yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's a mental note that our characters will take when it comes to anything like this. Same way we would think for Ulhime. Ulhime's very self-serving sometimes for the greater good, so
You know,
to
like,
speak.
I don't know the last time y'all had a clementine, but fuck, this is good. This is legit better than candy. Oh my god.
I saw the
Yeah.
movie like a few years ago. That's probably about it.
No. What's better than a clementine? Those little like kitty oranges.
You mean
I can't remember.
clementines?
I can't remember what they're called.
They're called clementines.
So Saint Sniper's character isn't quite neutral anymore, and he's definitely not good. I don't think he's ever been a good character, right? I think you've been at for Jakob. I think at highest you've been lawful neutral. At best, I'd say, right? But you've
No, not
been
even,
you've
not
been
even
neutral.
lawful.
Yeah, you've been chaotic neutral, right?
Legitimately
chaotic
only
neutral
fruit.
the
Yeah,
entire
that's-
time.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
It's the only
'Cause,
fruit that I
Saint-
enjoy eating. Too good.
Saint was bringing up how like a good character would be dismayed, but like a neutral character would want to balance it. Yeah.
Yeah, something that we're first and foremost, we're kind of waiting on Andy to get back. Once he gets back, we'll continue the scene. But I don't hang my characters so intensely upon their alignments. The only thing that I really sort of like force an alignment restriction on is in regards to their divination. So like if they get their spells from a god,
Like any with Horum.
they will lose their spells if they start willingly doing evil acts, right? Yeah, if they're going against their god or the opposition of their god specifically, then I am more than inclined to be like, nope, God's pulling that shit back. Sorry, it's not giving you your spells. But for most of them, the line is not so crystal clear in the sand. You have to do good things that inevitably help the bad, and you do bad things that inevitably is for the good.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at alignment, I look at it as extremely broad strokes. Like in any given situation, of course, you could do one thing or another. You could go ahead and, do something that's chaotic evil or lawful good or whatever. But in the general, in the long term, in, what your disposition is, he is chaotic because he likes his personal freedom. He is neutral because he doesn't really, he doesn't really try, for the greater good, and he doesn't see a lot of his actions as being necessarily evil. His memories, quote here, his memories is, he was a rogue type character before coming to, Cauldron. And he's trying to turn over a new leaf and be a good guy. Specifically a good guy with Ulhime.
And not everything is so cut and dry on alignment specifically. Like St. Yin says, so, be a cannibal, but save the caravan and you're neutral. I mean, there's a lot of other questions, right? Like, did they willingly have a bunch of food that they had upon their person? Or
Well, yeah, they did. They existed.
Yeah, if
So
they had,
that's a lot of food for a cannibal.
If they had storage of food, like if they were working at a fucking like chicken company, and it was 4 dudes traveling from town to town, and they're like, I could really use a sandwich, like a chicken sandwich. He's like, you know what? I need a thigh, actually. Yours. No. And he eats that guy. Then hell yeah, that's probably a real bad move. But like, if it's like, what was that? I was just talking about this the other day. Like the movie about the cannibalism in the mountains, in the Andes Mountains, when that soccer team was, I think it's called Alive. where their plane went down in the mountains, and they were dying. Like, they had to resort to cannibalism to survive. I don't think that makes them a bad person. I think they're going to need therapy. You know
what?
But
yeah, and you never know. It could be that, you know, the character themselves are a cannibal out of their tribal nature, that they grew up as a cannibal. You know, just because you're a cannibal doesn't mean
Robot,
you're a
thanks,
bad
man.
person.
Appreciate that, Robot. Welcome into the fam, my guy. So, Annie's back. We're good to go. We're going to move to the next and final scene for tonight's show. I have no idea how this is going to go. And
badly,
the bumpers are officially and finally off. He's had enough episodes to sort of figure out the way that this operates.
Put the bumpers back on.
No, can't, man. You're going to go see a dragon alone after her first mate was just evaporated. Sorry, it's not going to happen.
Bumpers off, training wheels on.
I'm sure this will be fine.
Oh, yeah, training wheels with
Try
a
not to get
colossal
eaten.
red. This should be easy.
Remember, if a dragon tries to eat you, try to either punch them in the snout or cast a phantasmal killer. That works really well.
no worries, Steven. This
Can't
is your
confirm.
this is your official introduction into bubble fuckery.
That was an interesting use of that word. Here we go. All right. You found your way back. You've traced your steps to a place. Not just any regular building. This is the Shining Tome. It's a place that seemingly stays just a cut above the rest in all regards. There's something more about it. You had that feeling when you came here. But when you descended those steps that seemingly went on forever and arrived upon a throne and mountain of coin to find a dragon, did you see her in her full form or did you see a woman?
I saw her blind. My vision was blurry, so I was able to see her in her womanly form.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was leaving, I heard the like slurshing of gold. I think when she was like becoming big again.
Yes. She didn't just heal you. She spit in your face. She cleansed your vision by expunging what magic was there. Now, people can theorize as to why or how, or the method. I'm sure there were other ways to do it, but maybe there was a statement there, right? Maybe there was a statement. She did say that she felt sorry for you. That you had blood of a black dragon coursing through your veins. She almost treated you as like a lower caste, which was bizarre because it's a dragon. It's a dragon. So does that mean that Reds look at black dragons as if they're like a lesser dragon? Or do Reds really just have this ultimate air of superiority? Do they look at gold dragons and silver dragons the same way? Who knows? All you know is that the last dragon that you encountered was a fraction of the size of this one. And this one seems to be in cahoots with your newfound allies.
Good times.
You have intentions. You want to bring her some news, and you find the door is shut to the Shining Tome. There's no music playing behind it this time. What do you do?
Is there an open window or maybe a window that's like cracked open?
No, I mean, it's daytime hours, it's business hours, and you know that the store is open during this time.
Gotcha. I'm gonna push the door open, see if it's
Sure.
able to.
Sure. You manage to lean into the door just enough, and it seems to push, though it seems almost caught on something.
I'm gonna push harder, try to get it to.
Give me a strength check. That is not great. Daniel Martin. That is a very, very, very low roll.
It's a sad roll.
It is a sad roll. You kind of throw your shoulder into it, and it butts back. There's enough force on the other side of it that it doesn't want to give. You can tell it's not a bar. You can tell it's not locked. You see no mechanism in the way. but there's something on the opposite side, be it a box or a series of crates. You're not sure, but something is pressing against the door.
Can I teleport behind the door?
That's a good question. Why don't you teleport for me?
Sure thing.
Okay. Range personal and touch targets you and touch objects are teleported to. Okay. All right. Instantaneous. Interplanar travel is not. Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. So certainly, you've got just enough of a gap in the door, and you see a space where you could cast. You could follow through. I mean, technically, all you really need is personal. Let's see. It's verbal components. So as long as you can talk, you can cast the spell.
As soon as I get that little visual of the flooring where it looks clear, I'm just gonna go just throw it over.
Okay. Do me a solid here. Roll a D1000.
D1000.
Yes. This is the effects of a wild magic that was targeting specifically you. In fact, the message that was attached to this said, and I quote, "Cooler Ronald has had his time to adjust. Hit him with wild magic."
Yes, finally.
That's no fun.
That's you're no fun.
Is teleport a spell you cast on yourself to go somewhere?
I would have to look entirely over it.
Because I think it might depend on like if it's a targeted spell, whether it's
Well, yeah, it
targeting
says targets you and targets and objects touched. So
so then it would be cast on him, not where he's trying to go. You know what I'm trying to say?
Let's see. Target is self. It's self and touched objects. Okay.
Would the touched object be something like if I was holding it, I was like, I want to teleport this ball across the room instead?
I mean, perchance, but in this case, you're targeting yourself.
Okay.
Oh. All right. Let's see here. This should be
Love the
strange.
look of confusion on your face. Makes it great.
Yeah, no, it's always weird to interpret this. You rolled a 611, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. This functions as it's called disperse. It's basically it functions as Ring of the Ram. So essentially, you push, you target an area, right? You're targeting self, and you're targeting another area. So it's essentially it's targeted, like it's a straight line that you're casting this, and it causes a forceful object to move up to a propensity of level of which it drives forward force, and it's a shove. Let me actually get the effects of a Ring of Ram.
Wouldn't that mean whoever's on the opposite side of that door is about to get hurt?
Likely, yes.
If it's someone holding the door.
True.
Accurate statement.
I mean, I think the person's already dead, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's where my mind went with it too.
No, don't say that.
It's flinging Charlie's corpse across the room.
No, that was mean. I'm sorry.
That's gonna go really bad in the optics.
Let's move this to a new tab and let's find out. I want to get you the exact details of what this does. Okay. It creates a charge attack. It's almost as if your body is being struck by a large-sized ram. A spectral ram's head jars and attacks a creature with enough force to push back up to 30 feet. And because you've managed to target yourself, it hits you. It's moving in a direction, so fortunately, it's going to hit you in the back. So let's see. I need for you, according to this...
So you're going towards the door instead of away from it.
Yes. Give me a reflex. That's really what I need out of you right now. Give me a reflex. That's really good. It's not really great for me. Okay. How's that going to work there? So it's not going to force you very far. That's kind of perfect. That's the perfect space. Perfect distance. So the way this happens, the way this hits, you more or less target this, you're trying to teleport in, and then there's this bluster of wind behind you, and something drives its head right into your back. It doesn't feel hot or cold. You can't see it because as fast as this happens, it's gone. You just feel this triangular shaped object butt you in the back and drive you directly through the door. It forces your body through, and you somehow manage to maintain being on your feet.
So I got kicked in through the door from this, correct?
Yes, it is going to hit you for a little bit though. Nearly max. 19 points. It is considered subdual or not fatal or lethal damage. So just track up it's 19 subdual damage. This goes away at 1 point an hour.
So you'll
good.
be fine by tomorrow.
But when you glance around the room, after you reacclimate to your surroundings, you're peering around the room and the place seems very normal. Everything seems just fine. You glance at the door and it is now blown open. And then you see it. Legs. The body is face down in a series of pillows. You saw this on the way in before. It looked like it was like a resting area of spots. Maybe a place to negotiate prices. But there are many throw pillows that are on the floor, and here you see this man. This portly man. Or what was once a portly man. And my browser just crashed again. Roll20 is killing it tonight.
Yeah. It was disconnecting us last week, remember?
That's weird. I think it actually killed... Hold that thought. Wait, what just happened? Whoa.
Is your everything dead?
That was fucking bizarre.
Have
Yeah,
you
I don't know
been
what's
playing-
going on. Firefox is just eating it tonight, and I'm not really sure why.
Oh.
You've been playing too much Phasmophobia, that's what it is.
Bruh, not even. Not even.
Your computer got the COVID.
Yep.
No.
It's a computer virus now, not just an
Yeah, that's what they meant
airborne
when
virus.
Yeah. It came in through the fans.
Okay, I'm gonna have to increase the sheer size of
Trump fans.
my OBS so I can actually see what you guys are saying in chat. I'm sorry, I cannot. Yeah, it was very bizarre. Sometimes shit like that happens. It's just welcome to Roll20. Things haven't been right for a while. Okay. Now, as I was saying, face down in these pillows where you're used to seeing, or what you may expect might be an area where they might negotiate or have some communal talks. But now in this particular situation, his body is just laying there, just toppled over like a rag doll.
What's going on?
I'm gonna investigate the body. I'm gonna roll him over.
Okay. Give me a perception check before you manage to do that. I want to see if you pick up something. Very good. Daniel, you can smell that there is an intense scent of burnt and singed flesh and burnt hair in this room. The closer you move over to his body, the stronger it smells.
What was the smell specifically?
Of like burnt or singed flesh and burnt hair.
And it's coming from that body in particular, or just everywhere?
The body, his body, at least as far as you can tell. Every time you take a step closer, it seems to emanate much more intensely so.
I'm gonna leave it alone. It seems a little sketchy, a little too sketchy for me.
Okay.
Can I see the door to where Sasha's at?
You're familiar with the direction, yes.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to Sasha's lair. I'm gonna knock first, just in case for whatever reason.
Okay.
Be polite, I guess.
Okay. Well, you can knock. There's no knocking. It's basically a sheet. It's more or less a series of linens that like hangs from the doorway.
I'll just go on through then.
Okay. All right. You managed to find your way to those steps and to see that almost nebulous and unending darkness that seemed to lurk and hang before you. You knew going down here that this was going to be this way. As you stepped down here before, sure, you were being led, but you know exactly what you're walking into, or at least you have an idea. Do you say anything? Do you call out at all?
I guess I'm gonna judge what's like maybe halfway down the steps. Miss Sasha, you here? Got some pretty heavy news to deliver.
Okay. Let's see. Are you saying that from the stairwell itself, or from while you're stepping into the hallway?
As I'm going down the stairs. Yeah.
Okay. There's no response.
I'll keep walking until I can get to the bottom then. I'll pick up my paces though, just kind of like start stepping down the stairs a little faster.
Okay. You manage to move. With each step, you begin to pick up your pace. Building up a momentum. You might even begin finding yourself skipping steps. It's easier to go down than up after all. And you're fairly light on your feet. You continue to move, and as you get closer and closer to the final depths before it hits a landing, and you can see that hoard of gold, that almost unending mountain of gold. You begin to hear it. This long form, deep rumbled breathing, this almost labored. Do you continue to walk?
I guess from the desk that's there, can I see that, or am I not that far in yet? Because I remember Thelsa placing a giant scale or like a ruby on a desk. I think it was a scale.
You can't quite see it yet.
Okay. I'm gonna try to like walk a little bit further into the lair, and I'm just gonna get like kind of like that samurai stance where they like sit on their knees and kind of like meditate almost, and then just say, Miss Sasha, if you're here, I really need to speak to you.
There's a pause. You can hear the gold beginning to shift and move in the room. Gems and baubles begin to tossle and turn, moving almost as if it's like a sea that seems to have it floating on top. Like bathwater and bubbles are rising to the surface.
What do you want?
The importance of that jewel that you had asked Thelsa about. How badly did you need that?
How long will you wait?
As long as it takes. I'm not gonna rush her if she's. I mean, I guess by the sound of her voice, she sounds pretty massive at this point. So I'm not gonna be impatient with her. I mean, there's not much I can do if she decides to attack anyway.
Right. Yeah, you're sort of a meal at that point.
Yeah.
I gotcha. It seems to go on for a while. This silence. Something feels very off. Very, very off. The room seems to sway and spin. The stairs twist and contort behind you as things begin to shift.
I can't believe you've done this.
And as they continue to shift and move, you hear them crackle and snap beneath your feet. Do you leap to the landing?
Yeah, I'll kind of like hop over to it if I can.
As you seemingly leap over, finding your feet beneath you, the sea of gold begins to shift and change.
Wasn't it funny? Funny that you found yourself here. Tiny man. I could smell the god's fire from beyond my steps. What did you know about the gem? The stone?
Well, from what I've gathered, it's...
What did you know?
It holds stories, but these stories are apocalyptic if they're undone, by one of them being blood, unfortunately, my blood. And then there's 20 others or so, I'm not sure the number, but seem to be a lot of chains coming from it too.
There are no coincidences in our world, tiny man. You've come here asking of a red gem, a stone of blood, and I've spoke my desires. I've sought the land so that I could find a stone of blood, whittled from my own body, hidden from my eyes, a pulp of rot. I needed it. Gone. It was going to kill me. It was going to take everything that I had earned, and everything that I would burn. You should know. I've stumbled so close to the fire. I found the flame in me, and I found its home where my pulp of blood rests. Then you come here asking. And now I know the truth.
And the gold begins to twist and turn further so. A hand arches out from the depths of this series and sea of elaborate coins minted in various nations and generations. Claws stretching out, but this time different. Blood pours down her arm.
It was rended from my body. I asked him to take it. He said that he would help me. Then I had to give him the soul of a mortal man. A man that did not matter to me. And you know what a dragon would give to remove a plague from their person? Everything! They would give everything. And now it has come back in folds greater. Greater than I imagined. And now, because my blood was cast, it returned. And I feel it. I feel it. I could smell it tear through me, whittle, knife through balsa, like tooth through flesh. And now all that remain, a worm with no wing, is no worm at all.
And she removes herself from the darkness, and you hear this Curt-like call, this, and this flame bursts from her maw, erupting into the darkness as you see the ceiling is decorated in bones, creating this elaborate cage. But it's not the bones of the ceiling that seem to catch your vision. It's the fact that her wings, completely outstretched in this dramatic fashion, where it would normally steal the light from several buildings, now you see the bones, because the flesh has rotted away completely. All that you see is her worm-like body, where the shoulders are starting to tarnish and green and gray.
You can stand before me and see true beauty, tiny man. Then why did you come to ask of my blood and my stone to take my wings? If you can flee before my breath's end, then you will live to walk from this place. But if you still stand, I'll add you to my bone wall, my ceiling and home. Find yourself. Or steal yourself. I wish to dance.
And as her hands seem to fall over the breast and sternum of her person and drag the claws down, the scales rain unto the gold. And you can see the decay that lines under that as she begins to fall apart.
I can't believe you've done this.
And this is actually where I end tonight's session.
Now!
Dang, Steven killed Sasha. Steven Dunn killed a whole dragon on his own. Look at that.
I'm proud.
I get XP. Do I get XP for that? I get XP?
Even when I killed a dragon on my own, we split the XP.
Yeah,
screw that. I'm a Gandalf this.
Dude, it sounds weird, but it sucks that she's dying like this. Like legit, like that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
All right, guys,
it's both from a player perspective and like if Ulhime was there witnessing it as a character, because it's like this is like the apex of like what we talked about before of like what a magic caster wants to be, and she's literally being reduced to nothingness and like literally just like rot and nothingness because of the curse that's affecting her again. And the fact that it happened this fast, I'm assuming is the curse itself kickstarted and then just like sped up all the way up until like where she would be at like right now.
So let me ask this: is she dead or is she dying at this point?
Dying.
She's
dying.
decaying.
She's like falling apart.
We got time then.
She's currently decaying.
Yeah. Like there's like that's hella fast too.
Well, I didn't get to really thank those for coming in through the raids. I do appreciate you guys. It means a lot to me that you decided to choose this channel to trust me with your viewership. So I am more than happy to bring them on board. This is, in fact, a once-a-week event. We do take the last week of the month off for the sake of just sort of recharging. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do there, but I felt that this was a primary moment to see the rise, the fall, and to give the players an opportunity to create a glorious new rise. To give the players an opportunity. And yes, this is unfortunately where I am ending tonight's session. Thank you guys for coming in. I'm sorry that this is unfortunately where it has to end, but I am pretty much putting a hard cap on my games of being no more than like 3.5 hours for the sake of my own sanity. Running long games is very, very tedious. I can do it in person because I get to walk away and things. But here on stream, it's a bit more difficult. So, if you have any questions or concerns, I'll need you to holler at me, yell at my face, and maybe one of my kind players will read chat and tell me if you have any questions. That'd be cool if you could.
Should we rate someone?
All right, shut out of luck. I can't read.
Should we raid someone? Probably. We can probably do that. I don't know what our viewership is like tonight, but I imagine it's okay. It's not terrible. It's not bad.
Yeah,
that'd be a good drop off.
I'm
Thank
still
you.
like, fuck.
Man,
I'm
I need to
so
figure out a
like-
way to get her back because I like her. I don't want her to
Yeah,
die. I need to figure out a way to get her back.
That
'cause-
sucks. Like even
I'm
I would have.
sorry, okay?
I would have like. It sounds weird, but like if she had become an enemy, I'd rather fight her at her prime than like
Then
have
watch
to
her.
see.
die.
Yeah, like have to see her like go like that. Like that. That's sad.
That's Keegan. That's Sasha.
And
Charlie.
now- yeah, and Charlie and Jimothy. Well, Jimothy didn't die to a plague, but
I'm interested
you-
in seeing what you guys like, what you theorize has happened and is happening, because there is a lot more. There's a lot more to dictate and to decide than what you might think. So hold on those thoughts. If you have some ideas, theorize in the Discord. That's discord.gg/bub. I'd love to hear what you guys have to offer. I'm going to go ahead and drop us all off over at Elo's little location. Hope that's okay. Elo is currently playing, it looks like he's playing Among Us at the moment, but Elo is good people, and I trust him, and I love the guy dearly. So we're going to go ahead and raid over to that man's. If you don't want to, if you're not a big fan of it, that's okay, but at least meet someone that I think is hella worth, right? You gonna see me tomorrow? Dope. Yeah, I did just open my channel up, so we're gonna raid on over. There's no raid command. No, there's nothing like that, but just tell them that you're here. You're here to hang out. You're here to have a good time. So thanks again for everything, guys. I love your faces. Do what you do. Stay safe, stay nerdy, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing a little bit of warm-up, probably in Breath's Edge, and then we'll be going straight over to Alien on Unmade Gaming's channel, where I will be either playing Ben or Jake, and trying to survive. So thanks again for everything, guys. Peace. We're out of here.
Peace, y'all.